Alright, so in this tutorial I'm gonna continue where I left off with the retopology. So here I am. I think I want to work around the ears. Right. And again, the name of the game is to have broad sizes for the polygons. Right. Don't do things like this where you start adding a whole lot, right? Like this here is doing this like this, and oh, also turn on object X symmetry. Always remember. But so for example, at this corner, at the most, probably putting 2 segments is the most you'd want. No more than 2. Don't put like say 3 or even worse like 4, right? Reason why is that it's easier to get it all cluttered, meaning to slam in a whole bunch of faces when it is absolutely not necessary. And if you need to add faces later, it's 100% doable. That's the reason why. And it's just bad workflow. It's gonna be a headache. Anyway, so from here I only put 2. I'll put 1 here and here, 2 dots. Again, to activate it, right, is basically, alright, so I'll show how to activate it first. So this is me opening the file, right? And when you open the file, it's gonna look like this. So I select the dummy mesh, right? I named it, right? And then you go make sure to turn on object X. Here you turn on this guy, make the selected objects live, and you do Alt 5 to show wireframe unshaded. I like to do this to verify that, you know, it is selected and it is magnetized. So those are the 2 main steps so far, right? Object X symmetry, select the model, and then turn on the magnetization. And then after that, you select the quad draw strip, right? This should be named, I should name it quad draw mesh. Then I select the quad draw mesh, open up the modeling toolkit, and go down to quad draw. You click it and it turns blue. And that's it. And then going back to here, this is where I left off. Anyway, I'm gonna start putting dots. If you ever need to clear the dots, here's the button for it. And again, just a reminder, all the shortcuts are here. So again, the whole point is to put the dots, and then hold shift and click. That way you have proper topology, which is the gold standard. Click and click. Like that. See the spacing? I can move the vertices like so, like that. Maybe I can move it like that. See how I space it out? It's tight and it opens up, right? It's just proper modeling strategies. Right. Even this is getting kind of a lot. So I'm drawing out the train tracks that I like to call them. And I put another dot and a dot. I could move the dot. Hold shift and click. Right, and I'm always looking at the spacing. Alright, so I'm going to pause the video for a second. So I'm going to do this and this and do that. And then put dot and dot, dot and dot. Hold shift, click and click. And then dot and dot. Hold shift and click. Maybe something like that. So you can grab the edges, you could grab the endpoints, which is the vertices. You could grab the edges like this as well, right? Here again, dot and dot, dot and dot. You can move the dots. So, hold shift, click and click. So this is what you want. Even here it's getting kind of tight, right? You want to avoid having too dense of a mesh near each other because it causes the rigid banding. When I say rigid banding, things like this here. See the little annoying little hump, right? Anyway, so here and here, two big fat quads. Here you can open up like so. Over here, right, I can even hold tab. I can extrude out the edge, but just to make sure, it's set to edge. Right here. Hold tab, pull it out, and then pull like that. Why is this weird color? Huh. Strange. I just hit the reset button. Anyway, whatever. Hold tab, yank it out. Pull on the endpoint. Pull on the endpoint. That. I'm looking at the sizing of my train tracks. Right. Hold tab, yank it out. And then clean it up. Right. Hold tab, yank it out. Clean that up. Hold tab, yank that out. Hold tab, yank that out. Have nicely spaced out faces that are distributed evenly, like so. Hold tab, yank that out. Like that. Again, I'm just avoiding anything where if the faces are too wedged together, or if they're too stretched out, right? Just being mindful of it. And also the width of the train tracks. Hold tab, yank it out. Readjust the endpoints. Hold, I can press shift and then just click here and boom. So even this is kind of a lot, right? Sort of a lot. A little bit more than it should be, maybe. So I'm just resizing them, trying to place them as best as possible. Right. Just trying to avoid stretching, trying to avoid too big fat of a edge loop. Right. Trying to hug it better around the critical spots where it transitions. here. Yeah, so this works, I guess. Like so. Like that. Turn. Yeah, that's not bad. Then this part here, right? Like I said, this is important. Keeping this border edge is important because it helps to keep the silhouette strong, right? And then when it goes across, hold tab, yank on it. Right, so about yay distance. Hold tab, yank it out. Again, I have set to edge. That's the default as well. See? Hold tab, yank it out. As always, I'm being concerned about the proportions because the proportions is everything. Not everything, but like I said, it plays a massive role in the behavior of the mesh. So see right here, I'm gonna align it like that, see? Now I'm gonna just kind of squeeze it in, like that, yank this a bit, so it's gonna link up here. So I'm gonna pull this a bit because it's too stretching, right? And then I'll squeeze that tight, and squeeze this tight, boom. So I'm gonna just make all the major, hold tab, yank it out. Hold tab, yank it out. So right now, like I said, I'm showing the major anatomical sockets: ear socket, eye socket, nose socket, and how which areas have to be a certain description, meaning like straight. The bridge here between the eyes, kind of like goggles, and the bridge for the nose, like so. And then the mouth goes like this. Okay, so that's what I want to show. I'm gonna pause the video for a second. All right. And I'll just scoot that over a bit. Bring that over. If you're, whoever is watching this, if you're not 100% too sure about the retopology, I highly recommend looking at videos on YouTube. There is tons of them, all from really good designers and artists, right? But overall, the main thing is good spacing, like I said, like a broken record, and proportions, right? And to block out the main anatomical sockets, like I'm doing right now. Here, hold tab, yank it out some more, like this, squeeze it in, pull this back, pull this back. I'm just trying to think about connect. Here, hold tab, yank it out. So about that much. It's just, all of this is just good modeling, right? Habits, good modeling habits. Like that. Hold tab, yank it out. You know, I could even yank it out like this. A whole huge strip. You know what? Even like this. After you do that, I can hold control, and I can just plot one here, plop. See how it snaps to the surface because the dummy mesh is magnetized. Here, hold control and plop it like that. squeeze it in. Always be mindful of spacing. Hold control, plop it like that. Like that, see? Super fast. Pull on it, pull on it. Pull on this, zoom. There. We gotta be careful here. There. Again, the inside has to be properly unioned, and where the union is set to edge. If you have the body parts meshes intersecting and the inside not being chopped off, right? If the inside is not chopped off, you are screwed, because the retopology, when you start putting dots, it will go through and stick to the inside and just ruin the process. Anyway, so I did that. Then around the neckline, I'm gonna put one here. Hold control and click. Then I'm going to I'm going right around here. I want this much space. This is going to wrap around the neckline. Ba 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 ba. So it's only going to be about this big proportions. I'm going to just hold tab and just yank out like that, making sure I hit the crevice, a big fat chunk. Hold tab, yank it out, another big fat chunk, making sure that it hits the crevice, right? And then just gonna realign it like so. Big fat chunk, double checking. I'm gonna also kind of pull on it so the end point starts to wrap around, kind of like a collar. See how it's longer here, right? Also looking at my sizing, the width of it. Hold tab, yank it out, pull on that. Hold tab, yank it out. Maybe pull it back a bit. Always making sure, see, these little things like that, it's important. I can look inside. Right, this part here, maybe this part here looks like a important turning radius, right? Right here, which is this guy right there, see? This is penetrating through, cutting across, so it needs a little bit help. So I'm going to yank on it, maybe pull it up to here. See? Then I'll grab this, maybe I'll kind of do that a bit, dial it down, and yank it up. Oh, even here it's a little rough, so hold control. And when I snap it down, like that, maybe I can go and kind of rework it a bit, like so. I gotta be a little bit careful and not go AWOL. See, already this is getting to be too much. I only put, what, 1 or 2, and it's getting already really tight and making myself do more work. something like that. Yeah. Hold tab, yank it out. Okay, this is clean. Hold tab, yank it out. Hold tab, yank it out. Making sure it's hitting flush like that. Again, this is why the dummy mesh, I had put the smooth level at 2, because the more lines you have on the dummy mesh means more accuracy in snapping it. See, the head right now, the head dummy mesh kind of has big fat squares, right, or quads, but luckily the scarf, it's been smooth a whole ton, so that's helping to help it to kind of stick around here. Anyway, so I'm just looking around, making sure it hits flush. Spacing. Hold tab, yank it out. I feel like over here it's getting too tight, so maybe looking like that, looking. Think of it as train tracks. This part here, maybe I can yank it a bit more, yank it a bit more, yank it a bit more, yank it a bit more. Something like that. Even this is kind of a lot. Pull, 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 pull. I can even just go here, here, here. It'll snap, snap, like that. Maybe I'll yank this back, pull this like that, pull that like that, pull like that. So it flares outward. Nice. Alright, good. See? I guess it's a little bit more condensed here, and it kind of opens up. Hold tab, yank it out. Readjust it. Zoom in to here. Flare it out like this. Perhaps maybe flare this, flare that.